Hello and welcome to today's Caught Off Guard podcast. I am Patricia Bright and I am here with the amazing Kamille. Kamille with a K. I know Kamille actually with a C, but you know, Kamille's stage name out here, she is absolutely amazing and I'm so glad that you could be on here.
I'm so happy to be here.
We've actually known each other for a number of years. And what I wanted to do with this podcast is bring on people that I know, but who are like absolutely amazing. And Kamille was very low key. She is low key, but I'm about to list off her accolades because I really feel like it's so important for people to know, what she's doing out here. But I also feel like you're a really good example of like someone who's doing moves and just changing stuff and making waves. But, not everyone knows about it, but you're doing it in secret. So I brought Kamille on here today because she is an award-winning songwriter. She has got, how many number ones was it that we saw on here?
I think 6.
6 number ones. Was it 25 hits within the top 10 of the UK? She's written for a lot of people. So I actually look, she's so shy.
I'm just so grateful for it, but I don't know how it happened.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I don't know, because I would see Kamille and I always knew that Kamille was in music, but then you'll see like this Little Mix number one and you're like, oh, Kamille wrote it. And then all this other stuff will come out and I was like, okay, fine, we need to talk about this. So I'm going to read a little bit about Kamille.
Oh, God.
So she's worked with chart-topping musicians like Little Mix, Clean Bandit and Jess Glynn. You might not have heard of her, but a lot of the songs that you hear that are number ones and have won awards have been written by your girl, Kamille. She's one of the UK's most successful female hit writers and producers, and her songs have racked up over 4 billion combined streams and hundreds of hours of radio airplay all over the world.
I didn't even know that one. Oh my God.
Well, we've got you.
Got facts.
Don't worry. So you've had 2 back-to-back number ones. So with Jess Glynn's I'll Be There and Clean Bandit featuring Demi Lovato solo. And actually crazy. It's you going solo. You're the one singing the solo. That's Kamille.
Usually me singing like all the bits that sound like a man or like a weird like yardy person.
All the ad-libs. Yeah. I love that. Both were nominated for the 2019 Brit Awards for British Single. She won the Brit Awards for Best British Single of the Year in 2017 for Little Mix's smash hit, Shout Out to My Ex. What was that about, girl?
That was about pain, that song. Yes. Honestly, like I've never been so happy for something to come out. So those girls were going through it. So yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And your awards, so hold on. You've picked up over 12 UK platinum records. You're a Brit Global ASCAP BMI award-winning songwriter. And in 2018, Kamille was named Songwriter of the Year at the A&R Awards 2018.
Oh gosh. That is some facts right there.
How
I don't
like
even know what to say.
Them apples.
Oh, I feel so awkward even hearing that because it just doesn't feel like it's my life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I've just been writing and
yeah, exactly. And I love that. You kind of. How did you get into it? Let's firstly get into that.
Well, I was a stockbroker. I don't know if anyone knows that, but I was not in this industry.
Background in finance.
Background, exactly, girl.
Background. Can we get a high five?
For the finance.
My background was finance as well.
Exactly.
Your background was finance.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
So, but I hated it. I don't know about you, but it just wasn't for me. She's like, yeah, it just wasn't for me. And every day I would dream about music.
Okay.
So I used to hang around in studios and I would just be loitering in corridors, literally like some weird little, I don't know, and stalking producers on the internet and stalking artists. And I just wanted to be in music.
Yeah.
And then one studio I was hanging around in, I ended up writing this song and it went to number 1. It was for the Saturdays. It was my first song out. And my parents were like, okay, you can try this for a bit. So I was, maybe like 21, 22. But that was a really, really big break for me. I was lucky to have that.
That is mad. So hold on. You went to uni, right?
Yeah.
Or you went to uni, you graduated. Because a lot of people think they have to start really young.
Oh my gosh.
You have to be
anymore.
Like 16 and get caught out. But you were working a career.
Yeah.
But bearing in mind, you have natural talent. just gonna put it out there. Like someone's like, I could be in the music industry. Meanwhile, you can't sing, can't do any music or anything. Like it might not be for you, okay? But you play music and you've been musical for a long time. Yeah, but you didn't necessarily explore that.
No, and in fact, I always wanted to be an artist, and now I'm actually, being able to be an artist too, which is so exciting. But I came through as a songwriter. That was my step into the industry.
But accidentally writing a song.
Accidentally. Do you know what it is? It's like I was following these guys in the studio this studio I was in particularly, and they were kind of teaching me how to write songs. Right, I didn't really know what writing was. I thought it was just poems and melodies and stuff. But they were like, you're really good at this. Right. So I was like, okay. I didn't even know what writing really was.
And also right place, right time.
Of course.
And surrounding yourself like in that environment.
Yeah. And being brave as well, because to walk out on your job is a big thing. Like, I don't know about you, but my parents were not having it. So I kind of had to quickly prove
I can do something.
Right, exactly. It went a joke.
I didn't know
if that didn't work out, I'd probably be homeless right now. I'm not even joking, so thank God.
I can't believe that. We have a section called the Eye Shaker. So I'm going to ask you some slightly awkward questions.
Oh God, Pat, don't make them too awkward, please.
And it's just to like break the ice and find out a little bit more.
Okay, babes.
And get into a little drama if you can.
Excited.
But Kamille's such a sweet girl that I feel like drama is not a thing that would ever be near you.
Aww.
Okay. So has anyone ever stolen a song you've written and not credited you?
Oh my gosh. Do you know what, right? That doesn't tend to happen a lot. But what you do get in the industry is sometimes you're not getting the fair split of the song, maybe, which can happen. So then you have to have a good team around you who are going to like fight for you and make sure you're getting your share.
Is it possible to be successful in the music industry or any industry without connections?
Yes. Do you know why it is now? Because you can literally go, if you try hard enough, you can speak to anyone. Like, if you send them the right thing at the right time, like Rihanna could open your DM. Do you know what I mean?
Very
I
true.
just think it's different now. I think you can kind of get where you need to get just by hustling and just by stalking people enough.
So be a stalker.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I did.
Is the goal to be signed or is the goal to be independent?
Oh, that's a hard one because I've kind of done both. I don't know if anyone knows, but I've now set up my own record label and I'm doing it myself. So I was signed as well to a record label. I think both because there's benefits for both. Obviously doing it yourself, you own more and you feel really super like boss bitch and whatever. But then there's a lot of hard work that comes with it.
I can imagine, yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say both for that one.
Okay, and this is a little bit of a money question because we like talking about money. But where is the money in the music industry? Is it making your own music or making music for other people? Or is it even a thing? Do you have to be like Beyonce level to actually make some coin?
No, do you know what? I think for me, I found that my success and my financial stability, I'd say, came through writing.
Okay.
So as a writer, doesn't matter what happens with that song, I'll always be kind of good as long as it's played on the radio to some extent.
Yeah.
But I think right now, I'd say the money's probably in live performance, writing. And if you're one of those artists who has your own stuff going on, you've got your own setup, if you're owning stuff, then I'd say, in the record side. But mainly I'd say writing and live. Okay. What do you think, Martin? Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You've got Kamille's manager.
My manager's over there.
Making sure I don't do anything crazy. How much did relationship impact your songwriting?
Oh my gosh, so much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Had some horror stories?
People always say you should never go out with a writer because we'll make you famous. Do you know what I mean? Look what Adele did with her ex-man. She did not have time. That went straight into her song. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't date writers then?
I'd say just be careful when you date a writer because if you do us wrong, we're going to write about them.
And make you famous as a douchebag.
Yeah.
Okay. But what kind of music did you listen to when you were younger?
I was listening to everything. Like my house was a mix of like R&B and Motown and hip hop. I've got a big sister and a big brother and they were always playing like Pharrell and Jay-Z and I just wanted to be cool like them. So I would like steal their CDs and stuff. But I found that I was always looking at, did you ever look at you used to pull out the sleeves of the CD?
Yeah.
Did you ever look at the credits and stuff or the thank you notes?
No.
So I was addicted to doing that. Oh. I remember pulling out the Mariah Carey one and she'd be like...
The butterfly one.
Yeah. And she'd be like, thank you, Jermaine, for all you've done. And thank you to... And all those people, I'd go and look at who they were.
Taking it back, didn't your dad have a club
Yeah, oh my gosh.
This is how we're old school like this.
Wow, Pat.
Okay, South London gang unite. I've also had Leomi Anderson on here, who's also South London, and other South Londoners. But
babe, there's not many of us, but when we're here strong, but, you know. My dad did have a club. And crazy.
I think we went there at some point in time.
Oh my gosh.
Either you were there.
Yes.
Or we all
went. It was
went.
called Illusions.
Yeah. It was quite a popular club.
It was.
In the south.
It was. Because there weren't many nightclubs like in Streatham where I was from. Yeah. And my dad opened up like the biggest club in Streatham.
And it was like...
I used to go
we have bashment and stuff? I can't remember.
There was everything there.
There was everything.
I used to beg him to go because obviously I wasn't old enough. So
yeah, we were. None of us were
old enough to go to this club. But I used to beg him to go. And I would like wear my skimpy clothes when he make sure he didn't see me. It was so fun.
Don't let daddy catch you on a night out.
He knew I was there.
But so there is almost that like musical link there as well,
gosh,
maybe.
Yeah, like because I remember he had like a PA system. So when the club was empty or in the daytime, I would go down there and sing on the mic.
See, we're bringing that out.
It was really so much
forgetting this. I'm finding it for you.
So crazy. Yeah. I haven't even thought about that. Yeah, I did used to do that a lot, and he would always be like, "Okay, you need to get off the mic now. We need to open the club.
Go and read your books.
Go and read your book. Go home." Yeah, that's crazy.
Amazing. And you also play musical instruments.
Yeah,
what do you play?
I play the piano. I play the guitar. I taught myself these things on YouTube. So on YouTube you can learn anything if you're just patient enough.
Yeah, you really
can be bothered.
Yeah,
it is long.
But was that recently or a while back?
This was pretty bad. No, I could always play piano. In fact, I was kind of doing piano from school and then I brushed up through YouTube in the last few years. But guitar I learned over the last couple of years through YouTube.
That's called dedication because I can't even watch a video for more than 4 minutes.
It's long. It's not easy.
So were you a creative child?
I was a very creative child. I was a very annoying child. I was a very petty child. Like I was always being petty with my sister, but she was super creative too. So we would argue and then we'd, dance and we would do little things like rap battles. I don't know if anyone used to do that with their siblings, but my sister would make me like rhyme in time. So she'd be like, the bat and the hat. And the cat.
And then you'd have to do your lyrics on top of it.
I have to be like, and you have to do it in time.
Right, okay, but no,
right?
We didn't do this. You're like, right, like, look at me, like, me and Maureen were doing that. No, we weren't.
Oh, okay, fine. No. It's fine.
So it's very interesting to see that potentially that this is always kind of been
always,
there,
yeah.
Underneath.
I couldn't escape music in my childhood. Couldn't escape it. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so actually going back to the instruments, did it teach you anything about discipline and focus? And even being where you are now, do you feel like you've had to do a lot yourself?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, I think right now the industry dictates that you have to do your own stuff now. You can't just sit and wait for people to do stuff. And I'm very proactive.
Okay, yeah.
Like you, I'm kind of like always on the go and always wanting to do stuff. So I would never like to sit around and wait, for example, for like a producer to finish the beat. I learned how to produce myself.
Yeah.
Just because I'm so annoying and creative and I have ideas at 3 a.m. and no one's awake at 3 a.m. Do you know what I mean?
Do it yourself.
I had to do it myself. So it was more that forced me to do it. But I also learned that the more you do, the more people will help you.
Right.
So
okay.
if, for example, when you're signed to a record deal, just because you're signed, it doesn't mean that you're going to be top of the list. You need to show them that you're worthy of that.
Yeah.
And you need to work. So, yeah.
How did you like perfect and like hone in your skills? Do you think it's because you just put in a number of hours?
How did I perfect them? I think, it's the hours and also it's the love for it. I don't think you're ever going to want to do loads of work on something or strive for something if you don't love it. And I've really learned that the hard way. Like you have to do something you enjoy in life to really succeed at it. So yeah, I think it was more my love for what I do.
And then, so you were working your job.
Yeah.
Right? And then you were leaving your job and going to the studio afterwards.
I was.
So how long did you work alongside?
Oh my gosh.
That?
I think all my working career, I was working through uni as well. So I remember I was going to uni and then I was going to the studio and I would sometimes not go to uni and go to the studio and I would lie and say I'm at uni when I wasn't. Like, I was doing a lot of that. Me and my best friend Neeks, I don't know, you know Neeks, don't you? My best friend, we used to literally get on the train, go up to uni and then just decide we wanted to come home. We come down the same day, like the next train back. We just couldn't be asked. But there were days when I was really, really vigilant about work. So I was just kind of trying to do everything and got to a point where something had to give.
Okay, no, that's what it's always like. There's that tug and pull because also you've got to make a living or people do. And I worked for 5 years while I was doing YouTube and building my career
you were
on the side.
Yeah.
And then I left my job. And then I got scared and then I went back to my job or another job. And then I left again. So I feel like there's this element that you can do it all. Not that you can do it all, but sometimes you might have to straddle two things
but
at the same time. But
people will look at your success, for example, and think, oh, it's so easy. And do you know what I mean? People don't know how long Pat has been doing this, like, for a minute. Do you know what I mean? I remember watching your videos when you were like, do you know what I mean?
I think it was when I was still at work or even just leaving uni.
And now we're in her beautiful place and it's so gorgeous and I'm so proud of her.
Thank you. They say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success.
Wow.
So like sometimes it looks like people have just all of a sudden made it. Wow. But actually,
I love
like
that.
It's been 10 years in the making.
That's real. That is so real.
When did you know you wanted to become a musician? Like actually be in music?
I think, as I say, it was when that number one happened that I was like, yeah, I can do this, because that was it felt easy to me. It didn't feel like hard work. I know it sounds I'm not gassing myself. I just mean a lot of the time writing songs isn't very hard. If anyone says it's hard, they're lying, because it's fun. Or
it's difficult for them because it isn't their skill, maybe. Because if someone told me to write a song, I'd be sitting here like...
Yeah, like 100%. It has to be something that you're skilled at and that you're doing. But I mean, when you're professionally writing, anyone that says it's hard work is lying, because it's so much fun every day. Sometimes I question, is this a job? Like, I'm in the studio going, la, 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 la. Do you know what I mean?
Having a great time.
Having an order and delivery. That's what my day consists of. So I don't know. I think it's so much fun that I realised this is what I wanted to do, because it married, as I say, like... work with fun and something I enjoyed.
So how did it work? So you wrote a song because you'd been in the studio a while, and then who did you give it to?
So this is when I met my first manager. I've got 3 managers.
Okay.
Because clearly it takes an army to raise me in this industry. But I've got 3 managers, and my first manager that I met, he was always at this one studio that I was at. Yeah. And I used to be like this quiet girl in the corner, and I would just hide in the shadows and stuff and not talk. And then one day he was like, who's that over there? Like, and the people were like, oh, that's Kamille, she writes and whatever. Yeah. And then me and him just struck up a friendship. Okay. And it happens to be him that passed that one song I was talking to you guys about. He passed that song on to the record label where the Saturdays were, which was Polydor at the time.
Yeah, I know them.
And yeah, he passed it on to a guy called Jordan, and Jordan gave it to the girls, and that's how it happened.
And is it literally words on a paper? Because I don't even understand how it works. Is it words on a paper, or is it like a CD?
A CD!
Oh my God,
Is it sorry, that's hilarious.
But when people use the term record, it's like, what does that even mean? What is it on tape?
Oh my gosh!
What is it on? Is it on MP3 file?
It's an MP3 file, Patricia. Yes. Oh my gosh, ancient. It's an MP3 file, and then that's usually emailed round.
Well, we gotta know.
No, that's actually true. It's a good question.
Really think that they need to hand.
I know.
There are people in like London handing out their CDs still.
When I see that, it really upsets me, because I think you should be at least handing out like a drive. Do you know what I mean? Or like, I don't know.
A little, what's it called? Flash drive.
A link.
So true.
It's weird.
But they're just trying to make £5 per CD.
I know, but you need to get with the times.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have Jamaican and Cuban heritage.
I do.
Were your family supportive of you and your decision making?
Do you know what? They were supportive, but obviously trying to make it in the music industry as a young black girl as well was like probably to them, what are you doing? Like, this probably isn't going to work. We think
especially
you should do this.
Especially in the UK as well.
Come on, it's just unheard of. So my mum was very education driven, and rightly so, trying to protect me. But we had a bit of, conflict there, because I wanted to do music and she was like, you need to do your degree, babe. So my dad was more of the one, I guess, a bit of a rebel, like, I'll take you here to the studio and, we'll just see how it goes. But they were still very much, you need to get education. Okay. Yeah. So,
but you did. You did
I
that as well.
I did with much pain, and like I hated it. I hated my whole uni experience. It just wasn't for me. Uni's not for everyone, and I didn't like it. But I'm grateful that I got my degree in the end. And I would always encourage people to study, even in this industry. Like there's things that you can learn. If you're trying to do something, you should study it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Do you feel like your parents taught you anything about working hard towards your dream?
Oh my gosh, yeah. My mum and dad are two of the most hardworking people in the world. So my mum's got an MBE. She was like,
oh wow,
she was crazy. She was the chief executive of like all this amazing. I'm not even going to go into it, but my mum's a G. My dad's an amazing property developer. So having parents like that.
Some tips from dad.
Oh my gosh. He's amazing. Having parents like that, I just...
Hold on, pause. You just said your mum has an MBE.
Yeah,
I was having this discussion with myself in my head yesterday. I want an MBE. I don't know how. I don't know how.
I think we can get one.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Like in my head, on my list is like MBE for ... Don't know what.
I think you're definitely gonna have that, babe.
But I need
You've
to
done
find
too much
thing.
already.
No,
like you're well on route.
Not that much.
You're well on route.
Because I met Edward Enneful the other day, and he's got an MBE, and I was like, oh, actually, I could have one.
Wow.
Give me 10 more years.
I think you. The thing is, though, there's nothing to say that we can't.
You could have one for like contribution towards UK music.
I hope so.
It was about, okay, so the music industry, and as a black woman in the UK, how have you found it? And like, what's going on? Where is everyone?
I think that this country, I think they just accept you when there's talent there. Mm-hmm. Rightly so, actually. I think, sadly, for some reason in the past, I think there haven't been a lot of black girls as artists. I think they have come through with consistent hits, enough to really pave their own way. So when I look at the history, which I do all the time, and wonder why there have not been a lot of black girls before me, I think it's because they just weren't having the kind of careers that their other race counterparts were. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of that came down to songs.
Yeah.
And a lot of that came down to just consistency. For whatever reason, it might not even been their fault, but
even exposure, though. Even understanding of what makes a good hit.
100%.
You have to almost explore outside of yourself, potentially.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of them are given a fair chance as well. So I've looked at that, and it has made me sad sometimes to think there haven't been a lot of role models before me that I can look at and say, yeah, I can do this now. Mm-hmm. But I think over the last 5 years, it has completely changed.
I've seen this, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you have so many more like black females and black males, in fact, from this country doing such an amazing job that I now can feel more confident and think, I can do this now.
Yeah.
And even in America, like I remember when SZA came around, and when like even Normani now, and these people are killing it, and I'm like, okay, thank God I've got people that are showing me you can do this.
Yeah.
But they have songs. If you look at these amazing girls, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it's all about right now.
I really wanted to talk about the art of like hustling in secret, and I feel like that's something that you have kind of done, and actually what a lot of writers do, because you're here really making the hits, but not everyone knows about you yet, because girl is about to be launching, like doing her own stuff independently, and we cannot wait for that. We're excited. You. But have there been any challenges that you have faced?
Yeah.
And have you faced rejection as well?
Oh my gosh.
And how have you dealt with it?
So much rejection. So much rejection. I remember at the beginning, like I wanted to be an artist from day one, and a lot of people were like, nah.
What was that? Nah.
They didn't believe what I believed. And that's okay. Like, not everyone is going to believe it. The biggest artists in the world have so much rejection. But I did face a lot of that. And you know what? I had to help a lot of people do what I wanted to do.
Right.
So helping other people have the same dream as you, and you've helped them and done that for them.
Yeah.
Is one of the hardest things to ever experience, and it has to only build strength in you, because oh my gosh, I remember Flo won't even know this, but do you remember when Flo was on X Factor? Because I worked on X Factor for 2 years with Simon. And
oh, hold on, pause, we haven't mentioned this.
I
didn't even mention it. Camille was the vocal coach.
I was
for X Factor for 2
yeah
years.
I was.
And she's like, Simon, she's talking about Simon Cowell,
don't.
like their best
Simon
friends.
Cowell is so lovely. Oh my God, I've never met a nicer person, but he helped me so much. Me and Simon.
And me and David Guetta.
Well, no, Simon just taught me so much. I don't think you'll even realise how much he taught me, but
amazing.
When I was on that show, like helping Fleur, because what we would do as well, it was more than vocal coaching. It was more, you would go to his house, have meetings, and we'd pick the right songs for the artists, and how can we change them, and we'd make them to, it was a lot of stuff. But working with Fleur was amazing, because I knew her before X Factor. And then seeing her crazy success on that show. I remember like one time at Wembley when she was performing, I went into the toilet and I cried.
Oh my
But it was
wow.
only because like I was so happy for her. But I just wanted that so bad. Like,
well.
It's making me emotional when thinking about it now. And I had to help her do that.
But this is a really important truth that I think that people need to hear.
Yeah.
That like sometimes you're still on your journey.
Oh my gosh.
And you might look at others who are already there and be like, oh my God. And
It's
let
so
alone that you're
hard.
actually helping them
So
on
hard.
that journey.
And then I did sax with her. So sax was one of the biggest songs ever and wouldn't come off the tee all Christmas. I remember that Christmas, but like even doing that and watching her have that success. Listen, this game as a writer, if you want to be an artist, is so hard and you have to be so patient.
Patience is essential in everything.
Patience. And on one hand, I'm so happy that we've had success. Like even the recent Mabel songs I've done, she's done so well from those songs and I'm so proud of it. And it's only making me more like, right. I can do this now.
Yeah.
I can do this for myself now. If I can do it for these amazing artists,
you can do it for yourself.
I can do it for myself.
So how have you been able to create opportunities for yourself? Because I think there's a lot of, I'm just doing stuff myself.
I know.
Yeah, how have you done that?
I've had to be so proactive because there's opportunities right there in front of you, but you have to take them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I remember I was in the studio with Timbaland, which was one of the scariest moments of my life, who we've all grown up on his music, right?
Yes.
And I had one of my first songs come out. It was called Body. And I remember I was in the studio with him and I rapped his music to him. It was so funny. I was rapping like, baby girl, better know one of them. And
so
he was
you
looking
were
at me
rapping to Timbaland.
because I was so nervous. I didn't know what else to do. I was just like, and he was just looking at me like, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I love you, whatever. But I played him. I said to him, can I play you my song? And he was like, yeah, sure. Like, sure, cool. And I played it to him, as nervous as I was.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And since then, we've had such a great relationship. And it's things like that, I think, that you have to just be brave and put yourself out. I think this industry is all about doing that with balance. Like, you don't want to be that person that's like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Think the thing about you is that you're actually, I wouldn't say you're shy, but you're not like hey,
oh
walk
no,
into the
I'm
room,
not.
I'm here with all the drama. You're not that person. You're very,
because I think talent speaks for itself, right?
But then you also still know how to put yourself out to the right person when you need to.
Yeah.
In a way that isn't jarring.
No.
Some people, oh my God. So how do you stay authentic and true to yourself while still chasing your dreams?
That is very hard because there's
especially in this industry as well.
Everyone knows, and I'm so glad now there's more of this, but how much social media just affects us. Like, I've been hating social media for years. I wrote songs about it. There's a song on my last EP called Within. It is all about how much I can't stand social media because it just makes you, especially us as this young generation we're in, it just makes you so insecure for no reason.
Yeah.
I think that, for example, when Michael Jackson was making music, he wasn't scrolling seeing what Stevie Wonder was doing. Do you know what I mean? He was making this. You have to be true to yourself and your craft. So as much as I'm on social media, I'm not on it. Does that make sense?
You're not even on it.
I probably won't even see stuff.
You're getting on it more because actually, like, you're not someone who poses and puts yourself out there.
No, and Gemma, you always used to say that to me.
Yeah, because I did want you to be on it more and put yourself out there more. But there's also, this whole, you're authentic in the fact that you don't need all of that to be successful.
I know.
Girls
it's never
out here
been my
number
thing.
one hits anyway. So
I can't deal with you.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I struggle with the way it makes me feel.
Okay.
That's the biggest reason as to why I'm not on socials all the time, or I take constant breaks from it. If it wasn't for connecting with people and helping people, because the amount of messages I get about suicide is alarming. It's alarming. And I go on my DMs purely to get back to those people and check on them, make sure they're okay. I know all these people by their first name. So it's like, that's the main reason why I'm on there. What I hate is the way it can make me scroll through and I'm seeing things that I don't need to see on that day.
Yeah.
I don't need to feel insecure. I'm beautiful. And I've decided I'm beautiful.
Exactly.
Not Instagram or social media or Twitter.
Or how many likes you have or how many people engage with your post.
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And you know what? You're not the only one.
I know.
This is such an epidemic right now where people are even losing themselves because they're just so focused on the scroll and what's going on, and they don't realize it's impacting their self-esteem as well. So
I know.
Okay,
it's
so
crazy. Okay,
but you're still authentic because
I'm trying to be like, it's a journey. Do you know what I mean? I think we're all gonna lose our way sometimes. It's a big fog that we're in, and it's hard to find your way. But I think the key for me has been to take regular breaks from social media. It's the one thing I know I can do to get back in tune with myself, and also try and write about it. So like I remember with Little Mix, they were going through the same thing, and obviously Jessie's just had her documentary out, which is just ridiculously amazing. But I remember like we wrote a song called Strip, which I wanted to be them showing everyone that you can take off the makeup and you can take off this stuff and still be beautiful. And they wrote on their bodies like all the horrible things people said about them.
Yeah, I saw that campaign
as well. It was crazy, wasn't it? But things like that I try to do to at least help others as well where I can.
How did you stay focused even when your name was attached to some big hits, big credits that were other people's stuff? And how would you advise someone who might be dealing with feelings of resentment, say at work, when they might be doing work for other
that's
people,
a good question,
but not always getting credit?
That's a good question. Oof. Listen, it's hard. I'm not even gonna lie, because sometimes you just want to. Just want to so angry.
Not literally.
No, but I get angry sometimes. I'm like, that's meant to be me. I want to do that, and everyone has that. And you're right, it's not easy, but I think the patience that you can learn from this thing will help you forever. Like the strength to watch that repeatedly. I think everyone has their time. If that's one thing I've seen, right?
Everyone has their time.
This person is on top right now, but it will not last forever. Not in a horrible way. Just your time is also coming. So, and I've seen it now in my life. I've actually seen it.
Yeah.
So I think it's about knowing that and practicing the art of patience every day is important.
That.
Yeah.
That's an amener.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Have you had to cut certain people off when you're in work or hustle mode? And are your friends understanding? I know your close friends are.
Yeah, you know, all my girls, like, they're all so... My friends, I'm lucky. I have a very tight-knit group of friends, maybe about 5 friends, and my sister around me. So they've always been supportive. Yeah. To the point where they get angry when I don't tell them things that are coming out. And because I don't even talk to them much about it. That's how I am. Yeah. I'm such a little, hermit under the bridge, just hiding away. But I think it's important to have people around you that are going to lift you up and encourage you. I read a book where it said, you should surround yourself with people greater than you. And I feel like I do that a lot. I wouldn't say I've had to cut people off. I can go ghost on people though.
Yeah.
But I think we can all do a bit of ghosting, like feeling your vibe. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And what I do a lot is I can mute a lot of people online. Right. I do a lot of that.
Because you don't want to hear their voices.
Not even in a horrible way. I just don't need to see it every day. I'm not actually meant to be seeing this every day. I'm not. Yeah, I'm meant to be looking at it once a week. It's healthy. Or I'm not meant to be seeing what anyone's doing every minute of the day. Yeah, as much as I love y'all. Yeah. I don't even know what I'm doing. I need to look after myself. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
I do a lot of that.
I love the mute button. I love it because they don't even have to be offended. No, like they don't need to know that you're not looking. Right? No, really.
Listen.
Wow.
Do you know what people should be doing? Is muting stuff that is not beneficial and following more things that are going to inspire you. Like, do you know who's thing I'm happy to see every day? Is Gary V. Gary V's posts, Gary's for example. Do you know what?
I do love him. I am a fan. Even went to go see him at like some event here. Yeah, 2-day event.
Oh my gosh.
But some days a bit like, oh God.
I hear you, but do you know what? At least he's got something positive to say to me. Agreed. I'm not just looking at a picture of a girl like.
Yeah. Tongue out.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't need to see it every day.
It's true. I love that. Okay. So many musicians are becoming moguls and entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Beyonce, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Nas. Yes. Do you think it's important to be business-minded as a musician and not just focus on the music?
Yes. This is my favourite question.
Oh, let's get into that then, because this is what we're all about.
Because this is what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
I've had enough. I feel like, why are we being told what to do and being told when something can come out and what your thing's going to look at and who you are, and you decide that yourself. We're in an era now where music is yours. Like you can put something on Spotify today and it could be a hit and no one else can tell you nothing. Do you know what I mean? And we're so powerful now as creatives that you're allowed to do it yourself and you should do it yourself. So I'm all about that. Like I've set up my record label now. I've set up my publishing company now. So I can sign writers and artists and producers, and I'm so excited because I just feel empowered.
How did you learn to do that? How did
I
you know
learn
how to do this?
Well, enough time in this industry has taught me what it takes.
Okay.
I had that experience of being signed to a record label, and I saw what they were doing, and I connect a lot of record labels. It's my job. So fortunately I was able to see that in practice a lot. But I think there's always people that you can speak to. I've got an amazing lawyer. I've got an amazing management team who guide me as well. So it's not just me on my own. It's definitely a team effort, I'd say.
So that business savviness is everyone should be really being open to it.
I think that should be the end goal.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you need to work your way through. I'm not saying you should start off right now and go and run your
Create
record label. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
If you're ready for it, of course. But I mean, you should definitely look at that being your goal, and it shouldn't be always to be on a record deal assigned to someone else. You should be looking to own your copyrights and own your own masters and do things yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just a lot more control. And I think this applies to like so many industries, not just the music industry, the fashion industry, what I do for a living, just anyone just trying to take a bit more control and understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
Like important.
Oh my gosh.
Like people are just like there and all your money's gone. Why is it that so many sportsmen who've made millions go bankrupt? I just don't understand.
It makes me sad when I see that because they've just been ill-advised. And I think you're so right. Like where we were talking about studying, like you need to learn music law or learn the basics of music entertainment and what it entails. Yeah.
Okay, so are there any musicians who have inspired you, both from their hustle, work ethic, but also from their music perspective?
I would say my biggest ones, of course, would be Beyonce. I think everyone's is. Pharrell has taught me what it means to be a creative and how to be consistent for years. Yes. He is a vampire. Like, he's a living vampire. Like, he hasn't aged. I don't understand what kind of life he's living, but I went outside his house one time. I'm so sad. Like, me and my sister went to LA and we went on one of them celebrity tours where you go through the bushes and see the house. Literally, his house is green, like green glass.
Really?
It's crazy. His house is beautiful. But I was just looking outside.
Did you go through his rubbish?
No, I'm not that bad.
They do like dumpster diving. Like, they look through but they go through like celebrities like rubbish to see what they have in there. They found some dodgy items. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't even do dumpster diving.
People do YouTube videos. Have you heard of that? Oh gosh, that's because I spent too much time on YouTube.
Oh, that's brilliant. Sorry,
I saw what was in Zac Efron's bin.
Oh no, babe, I don't want to know. This is so bad and disgusting. What are people doing?
So
but yeah, no, Pharrell for teaching me that.
Yeah.
And then also I'd say most recently Rihanna, just because how can it be that she has now transcended into mogul status? Like
in 2 years. In 2 years. It's mad. But obviously it's been like 10 years building up, and then she's just gone hard.
I know. But it's the fact that what she did, you can tell. She didn't just go out and do that. She studied. Like, you can see the products. They're just too good to have... Yeah. She knew what she was doing. So I think it's all about knowing what you're doing and being brave. But yeah, those three people, definitely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what's made you want to work on your own music when you have had such a huge success songwriting?
Well, it's because I always wanted to do it, babe. So even the songwriting thing, you did. As much as I was like doing that and enjoying it, it wasn't my first love.
Okay.
It was like something I enjoyed and happened to be quite decent at. I always wanted to be an artist. So this is something that has been here from the beginning, and it's like a burning desire and a horrible voice in my head, and it doesn't go away, and I have to do it.
And I can't wait to see it, like everything coming
Thank
out. You've
you.
already made some amazing stuff.
Thank you,
So
babe.
do you share all your work and what you're doing with your followers? Do you think it's important to promote what you're doing or to move more silently?
It depends, actually. I think followers always want to know what you're up to. So it's important to definitely give them stuff to eat and to have. But I also think there's a massive importance of like hustling quietly to yourself, because I'm all about that. And it's not because I'm necessarily trying to be shy or whatever or behind the scenes. I just saw the way my parents moved, and they weren't these people like bragging and showing off and whatever. They were very silent with that hustle. Yeah. And then you just see my mum going and accepting MBE. Do you know what I mean? It's that
from the queen herself,
from the queen, babe. Like it's that level of pride that I have in them that I wanted to emulate that. So I just believe in when things are popping, they will pop. I won't have to say anything.
Yeah.
I won't even have to. But there's also something about sharing. So I'm trying to find a balance at the moment.
Yeah, that works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, your background is in finance. We've had this discussion. But
Yes.
do you find that it's helped you to be even more business savvy in the music industry?
Yes and no, because I think all girls my age and our age love to shop. Like, I'm sorry, I can't deal sometimes. Let's just take a sip of the drink.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just bad when I'm online late at night. I will shop.
Girl,
It's really, really
stop.
bad. But of course, yeah, having a financial background has taught me at least, what to do, be looking at, certain things like interest rates and inflation rates. And when you're buying a house, what the right thing is to do and what are the right accounts to put things in. So it just meant that I wasn't like completely looking like a dummy when I was like in certain meetings and stuff, for sure. Mm-hmm. And it gave me like a breadth of understanding about the world I'm in. But I definitely think it comes down to you as a person, how you are with money as well.
Agreed. Yeah. Okay, so what does your morning routine look like?
Oh my gosh.
And a typical day actually for you as well.
Okay, well, I'm really bad at mornings.
Okay,
I'm not a morning person.
Right.
I have to set about 3 or 4 snoozes before I get up.
Right.
So I stagger them from 6 a.m. and I'm still usually late. It's really bad, but usually that's my morning, going in and out of the snooze button. Then I'll wake up and I like to pray.
Lovely.
I do like to talk to God in the morning. I think God is such an important part of my life from where I am. And then I will drag myself to the shower. But in the shower, I've got a mirror. Your face. Do you know why I did this, right? I put a shower in a place where people can feel the most insecure. I put a mirror in there. I put a mirror in there because I wanted to be forced to look at myself and love myself.
Interesting. But
Also
do
you know what?
With the sleep in your eye and the back still kind of bent.
If you can look at yourself like that and be okay with it, it's given me such confidence. I would encourage anyone to do that. It's a full length mirror. And every time I'm in the shower, I look at myself and I just go, do you know what? I don't care. I've got this stretch mark here. I've got this cellulite here. This boob isn't the same size as this boob. Whatever it is that we have, like all my insecurities, I look at them and I deal with them and I go, right, I'm cool. I'm fine.
Wow.
Every single day.
Yeah.
And then I pretend I'm in a music video with the water coming down like Mariah Carey or whatever. And then I'm usually even more late. What do I do after that? I usually skip breakfast.
Okay.
I'm not really a breakfast girl.
Right.
Are you?
I am now.
Yeah.
I'm a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and everything kind of girl right now. But yeah.
But when you went pregnant, were you into big breakfast?
No, to be honest, no.
Right?
I don't really love breakfast.
Me too.
You don't really need it.
I know. I feel like we
don't think you need it,
No. We just survive on our own amazingness, I think, in the morning. But yeah, that's typically my morning. There's a lot of reflection and I usually listen to demos and music and stuff. And Martin, my manager, will usually tell me where I'm going for the day.
Okay.
And then I just
So he's up before you. We'll send you like a text message.
Oh my
and be
gosh,
like, hey, girl.
He's done my whole schedule. So he's done everything. He's amazing, Martin.
How do you relax?
How do I relax? I love to cook.
Ah.
Yes. I don't know if anyone sees me on Instagram. I love cooking. I really want my own cooking show.
What's your favourite dish then?
I have so many favourite dishes, but like I love making, I'm Caribbean, so like any kind of curry, chicken curry, plantain, babe, I will make you dinner. Listen, you know I love it.
You said you're doing a housewarming or something.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Cooking?
Yeah, I'm cooking.
Fine, I'm there.
It'll be fine. But I like making big feasts. Like I'm not like I'm going to make a small thing for I make a feast of food and I beg people to come around and like when they don't come around I get sad. So I love people eating my food, but that's kind of how I relax. Netflix, I love.
Yeah, we all love a little
Although
Netflix.
I don't really stick on one thing. I kind of get I find Netflix hard to stick to something.
You're not like a serial series watcher or anything like that?
No, I'm kind of weird on Netflix. Like my friends always cuss me for it because one episode in I can get a bit bored and then I'm on to the next thing.
So what is next for you and what do you want to have achieved in the next 5 years?
Oh my gosh. Next for me is world domination. Because I'm
Let's not
ready.
Keep it basic.
No,
world, not UK.
No,
Global
domination. I've got, as I say, my record label now, my publishing company. So I'm going to be signing loads of people that I love and helping others, which is important to me. I'm going to be doing lots of charity work in Africa, which I'm so excited about. From next year, I'm really going to be heavily focused on that. And just my own artist project now, which, you know, I'm starting, as I say, doing it myself. So it's exciting for me. I'm going to be putting out loads of music and just collaborating.
Amazing.
So excited.
Have you set like goals for yourself? You actively set your goals and you're like, I'm going to work towards this and this.
Do you know what? I think not really. I'd say strong goals like that. I always want to better the year I had last year. And I'm lucky enough that's been happening every year just through the hard work that we've been doing. But I'd say now my goals are more for myself. I have more personal goals, like I really want to be happy and I really want to have a family and I really want to be in a just happy place in my heart with myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm noticing how that directly affects my work.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I've kind of shifted my goal thing now because I think I've achieved, thank God, a lot of things I wanted to achieve. And I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. But I think just being happy is the most important thing for me right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So this section is some quick fire questions. Drop and give me 20. It's not always 20 questions.
Okay, I'm
excited.
excited.
Just answer them like one by one. Give me the first thing that comes off the top of your head.
Oh, okay? I hate these because I always mess it up. That's right, come on.
Cuba or Jamaica?
Oh, babe. Oh, God. Oh, I say, do you know what? Jamaica, just because I go there more.
Okay.
Yeah, Jamaica.
Mummy's not going to be annoyed.
I know, she's going to be upset with me. Jamaica.
The UK or the US?
UK.
Musician or music mogul?
Oh, these are hard, babe. Musician mogul.
I like that.
Yeah.
You can switch up. That's
Thanks.
fine. Hair or makeup?
Hair. Yeah, hair, defo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter or summer?
Winter. I hate summer sometimes. I get sweaty. It's too hot. I just get sweaty.
Okay.
I have a serious armpit problem. Like I'm always sweating. I sweat so easy. I'm hearing about this, but I'm scared that it gets travelled in through your veins and stuff. I just get scared of things like that.
No. The quote you live by is?
Be nice.
I like that one. The most famous person you've worked with is?
I would say probably Rihanna. Like right now, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it was
met her
really
one time as well.
I know. I saw when you met her. That was so nice.
No, you worked with her. Hello, like you were like in actual like.
No, she's amazing, man. Oh, she's amazing.
The hardest lesson you've learned so far in your career is?
Not everyone is gonna like you.
Even you?
Oh, babe, 100%. People don't always like you, and that's fine. Not everyone's gonna feel you.
Wow.
Right?
I would really struggle. I definitely know I'm Marmite. Your biggest regret in life so far is?
I think my biggest regret in life was not seeing how amazing I was sooner.
Okay. Lovely.
Not seeing that from a young age and I was a very insecure child.
Really?
Yeah, I struggled with a lot of insecurity. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel popular. I was really troubled, I think. So not seeing that sooner, that I'm amazing.
If you could relive one moment in life again, what would it be?
When we got the 2 number ones week after week, so I knocked myself off number 1. I don't think any like female, let alone black female, has done that. So I think That's a really special thing that I did. Like I knocked myself off number 1
with another number
with
1.
Another number 1.
Can anyone else say that?
Oh, thank you, God. That was amazing.
If you weren't doing what you were doing now, what would you be?
I would be some kind of hustler and entrepreneur, because I know I wouldn't have stayed at my job because I was really bored and I walked out, but I would definitely have been hustling, because even when I was at that job, I was hustling on the side. I was making websites.
I love this.
I was doing bits.
Multi-talented.
I was because I needed to have money to get things. I wanted nice things. I wanted to shop. So I just had to support my hustle. So yeah, I would definitely I'd be doing something online.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
You're inspired by?
Anyone hardworking.
Love that.
Yeah.
The secret to success is, in one word?
Loving what you do. Happiness.
I love that.
Yeah.
15 minutes with Beyonce or £1 million. Which are you taking?
15 minutes with Beyonce.
I'll take the million.
Nah, man. The Beyonce thing is, do you know what the worst thing is? Like, I worked on that album, the Lion King album, and I was in her whole office, like smelling the walls and touching. I was literally like,
Beyonce was here.
Like, I was everywhere, and I didn't get a song on that album, and I was so devastated. And it's just, you know what? I was crying and upset, but it's like, even at this stage and this level, you still get things that don't work out.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
And now I'm okay with it, but it still means that my Beyonce dream hasn't been fulfilled. So
Yet.
Yeah.
Because it means that it's coming then, you know?
I hope so.
Okay,
I'll keep trying. I'm
No,
going to keep trying.
It's coming. Beyonce might see this heavy.
I love you, Beyonce.
I don't know if she watches.
I know. I think she does. I think she definitely does.
Okay. 0790 me. 0790 me. Favourite song you've written is?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think right now my favourite song that I've written is probably Don't Call Me Up for Mabel, just because I loved seeing how quickly that thing helped her through a bad breakup. Like, she came in the studio, she was so sad, my little babes, and we were like, right, we're going to write about him. That's it, I've had enough. I'm fed up of seeing her cry. Oh. She's such a sweet girl. So seeing that and seeing the success she had and how it took her massive, that song, I think has been one of my favourite moments. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the impact that music genuinely has on people's lives.
Like, I love it.
It's a real thing. We're going to do our little questions about the wallet.
Oh,
it's a bit, it's not too much. We're not going to be like, just tell me your bank balance.
Okay, fine.
Right, like that. But what we like to do is just get an idea on how you perceive money, what you use your money with,
okay,
or if you even have any. Some girls will come up and like, I don't have any because I spent it all on bags. I got a Hermes bag and I'm broke. Okay, so it's fine. We just keep it really honest. And
Hermes bags are so expensive.
I know.
I can't even deal with that.
But
it's like a house.
Some people, that's what they want.
I know. Like, I get it. I don't judge. I don't judge.
You know.
But
and I'm out here buying bags as well. So
babes,
I'll be honest with you. That's my vice.
If you can afford it, I always say with bags and things like that, if you can afford 2 of them, then you can buy one.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Right?
Most people are not using that logic. Babe.
Okay. That's what my mum taught me. She always said, if you can buy 2 of them, then you can have one. And I was like,
Gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you make any mistakes when you first started out? What would you have done differently?
With money?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So on my first publishing deal, which a lot of young writers, producers will know about, you get your first advance, right? Which means that the publisher will pay you an advance to live as a songwriter. Like like if you're a footballer, you get an advance, whatever it is.
Like a check. But
yeah.
That you have to pay back, or
it depends. It's kind of, you're essentially paying it back over time.
Yeah.
So it's like an upfront, I guess. Not upfront. Yeah, okay, upfront money. And they do that for you when you sign to them. So if I'm signing to a publisher, they'll pay me in advance. Yeah. My first advance, I spent it so fast. And I think most people in that position do, because you're so excited to have like this chunk of money in your account. You've never seen that much money in your account. Is this why people go and
buy chains and cars and like just sign to the label?
It's nuts.
Get
like
stuff iced out.
Babe. So I didn't know what I was doing, and the worst thing is I wasn't even buying loads of things. I was giving money to people and helping my family, and because I always dreamed of like, oh, I'm gonna buy my mum this and I'm gonna do this, and so my money just went on helping people, really. And I moved into a little flat.
How quickly did you finish through it?
It's bad. I'd say like about a year.
That's not
bad. No, it was bad, babe.
I feel like the guys, they like spend the advance in like
2 or
3 days. Like,
so bad, but at the end of that year, I was in trouble, innit? Like, it was bad. And then my manager said to help me, and I remember it was not a nice time. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I learned from that.
So what would you have done differently?
Oh my gosh, just put it down and bought the things I wanted, because you should treat yourself.
Things. Yeah.
But I should have learned to just put the rest away. Yeah.
After your first number 1, do you remember what the first thing you bought was?
I bought a Louis Vuitton monogram bag.
Oh,
I
cute.
still have it now and it's very special.
Do you associate the bag with the number one?
I do. Even though it's got a little tear in it now, I'm a bit upset. But yeah, I do. And I typically, my mum always said, every time you get a number one, you should buy something to remember it with.
Okay, love that.
So I typically tend to buy like some LV when I get number one. Yeah, I remember one time I was in the airport and I just went in there in the duty free and they were looking at me like, oh, can I help you? And I was like, yes, all your Louis Vuitton. No, I'm joking.
Everything.
Give me all.
And the number one hit right against
Yeah,
me.
it was a lot. And I remember I came out with like the luggage, I had the whole thing and I was just so proud of myself. It was like a proper Pretty Woman moment. I was like, yes, bitch, I bought that with my own card, not a man. I did that myself. So like, yeah, it is nice to have moments like that sometimes, but I don't do it very often.
What has helped you to become better at handling your money?
My accountant taught me a lot. So I have an amazing accountant. She's very vigilant. She's very strict. Like when I first started working with her, I was like, oh my gosh, like she's putting all my money away for tax and I can't spend it.
Yeah.
But learning about tax through her, I think has been the most amazing thing. Because now how I see it is if I get money in, less than half of that is mine. Less than half is mine. Yeah, clear.
Or at least put 20% away.
Put it away. It's not, don't even see it as yours because a big problem I think in this industry, unlike with a typical job where you get your tax taken out before you're paid, we receive it all and then we have to take our own tax out. When you're self-employed, that's how it works. So it's difficult because that money feels like it's yours and you've got this. It's not yours, babes.
That's what actually ends up getting most celebrities and Lauryn Hill. It was like tax issues. That's why they end up in prison.
Look at Wesley Snipes and stuff. Do you remember?
I know, it's tax.
Yeah, man. It's not yours. It's not yours.
It's the government.
It's the government, exactly.
Other than yourself, what are you investing in? And what other streams of income do you have? Or do you think it's important to have other streams of income?
Well, I'm with an amazing bank and they help me invest in a lot of great things.
You've got a pension?
I have a pension, which is, right, you got a pension, girl. Okay, yes, you know what time it is because we can't be out here stunting and not living well when we're 60, all right? But yeah, my bankers have been really amazing. One banker in particular, he's so good at helping me invest in the right things. So one thing I like to do is if I know I've got a lot of tax to be paid soon, I like to have that money aside and in an account where it's at least earning something.
Right.
So I'm not just paying the tax. At least I get a little bit of profit off that.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Things
I
like
haven't done that.
Yeah, things like that are really good to do where you're not just, because I hated that feeling of all this tax I'm paying and it's not, I've got this money but it's not doing anything for me.
Yeah.
So that was a really important thing that
the tax money could be making money.
And so at least you're not paying just the tax.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Oh, I've just learned something because I've put it in a bank account that is not got.
You should be putting it in a really high interest account until like the highest one because you know it's going in a certain amount of time. Oh. Yeah, things like that are really good.
I'd love to hear like a takeaway from you. Maybe like a one-liner on something that's really important to you and maybe some advice that you have.
Be patient with yourself because I think a lot of the time in this world we're in now, everything has to be so quick. Everything has to be now. You have to look perfect now. You have to do this right now. Yeah. I think just take time with yourself. Like you are the most important thing in this world. There's only one of you, right? No one else can do what you're doing. There's only you. So I think it's important to love yourself and be patient with yourself. Everything else that you want in life will come once you love yourself first.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on, girl.
Me, Patsy.
You are such
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of
We're
you.
all so proud of you. You are shining a light for all of us.
I feel really happy that I have such a circle of like amazing people. And I know we're not tight, but I've seen your journey.
I know.
You've probably seen mine. And it's just great. And like we've got other successful girlfriends in our circles.
We really do.
In the medical industry,
Trust
dentists, out here doing amazing.
We've got amazing people around us, man. I'm so grateful. But you've been so incredible and it's such a pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me.
All right, Kamille. I'll put all of her social down below. Check her out. She's got lots of links, I'm sure, to all the amazingness that is coming out. Tell her to post.
I'm going to post more, promise.
But also to be authentic. So whatever works for you, babe. We're down. We're down for that. We're here. We just want all the music. All right, guys. Thank you so much for catching up with us on the Caught Off Guard podcast. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.